Welcome back to Alien Heart of Darkness. This is episode or session 5, titled Get the Hell Out. Last session, the crew. Yep. It was a lot. A lot happened. I think everybody just got shifted, so I'm going to move people around. But yeah, they got back onto the ship. The ship is powering up, which is great. And I guess that would be great if the crew
No.
liked one another. I just don't think that they do anymore. Um, cat. Let's go through it beat by beat, because most of it happened at them boarding the ship once again. On the way to board the ship, Jimmy Joe Hoffman, probably against his will, sacrificed himself so everybody could make it onto the ship. And he was absolutely and horrendously butchered by androids. A fate worse than death.
Nope. No quartz.
The others got on board the ship, but Raditz was starting to show signs of his transformation. So he immediately secreted away to his secret laboratory installed by the corporation, unbeknownst to the captain, even. He hid away in his space, and he was partially responsible for the death of Dr. Lark, death of an android. Mostly responsible for it. And he locked himself away so that new person, Warden Stikes, was unable to enter into his secret laboratory. You see, Stikes realized that the crew of the Zetarhina was leaving Erebos Station, and after having a disagreement with his android security staff, he felt it necessary to run out of his station and try and get on board the only remaining method of true escape available to him. Leon and Stikes have grouped up the captain of the Zetarhina, who is missing an arm. It was ripped off of him by a deacon in the cauldron of the Erebos station as they were trying to make sure that the power was correctly redirected to the Zetarhina. Those two started to make their way to the bridge. Meanwhile, on the bridge, Dr. Lockhart had a disagreement with Dr. Keist and smashed her face into the panel. What teeth she had left from having her face smashed into a panel in the cauldron by her own teammates. She was obviously disgruntled. In the aftermath of the attack, she told Dr. Drabakowski to kill her. And strangely enough, Dr. Drabakowski did just that by shooting her in the back of the head. Dr. Lockhart died. May not have been the back of the head. She shot her. She died. That's the point. Dr. Drabakowski asked her if she was affiliated with the secret, the organization that they were secretly connected to, not the corporation. And it turns out to be the case that Dr. Keist was never her real name ever at all. And in fact, she is actually a spy here to make sure that Dr. Drabakowski's loyalties remain in place. They immediately sealed the bridge, and as we mentioned, Warden Sykes and Captain Leon Hart were on their way up, and they came to a door that was unwelcoming. Another wave of magnetic energy pulsed from the black hole and caused them to roll. I had stated at the end of last session, Captain Leon Hart his anchor will be put towards the door instead of associates, because again, it's kind of boring. They just keep turning on their friends, especially for no reason. And yeah, that is basically that. So I guess we have 3 groups. When it comes to Dr. Babbitt, he is currently offline. There is no way that I can foresee that the group stops what happens next with Dr. Babbitt from happening. So I've already made the change. And as a bit of a spoiler, since we've already seen this process in action, Dr. Babbitt has secreted resin and material from his abomination body and has cocooned himself inside of one of these strange living hive biomechanical pods, where he will remain for the first segment of this act. Captain Leon and Warden Stikes, you're outside the door, and the scientists slash spies, you're on the bridge. At the end of when you have nothing left to do, that is when the batteries will be full and we'll be moving to the next stage. Leon, go ahead and begin your assault against the panel. I presume that you'll be using heavy machinery in an attempt to break it. So I would like for you to roll this with 2 additional dice. However, if you roll a panic dice in this roll, then you will suffer a panic. Like, there will be a panic result here. It usually doesn't for kind of menial tasks, but because you are doing this in anger, there's a possibility that you kind of lose yourself here.
Okay. And if I... Okay, so that is adding dice.
Yes, you're adding 2 dice, correct. Okay, so you do roll a panic, but you do roll a success. So what I need from you is a panic roll. And that's a d6 plus your current stress level, which is a lot.
Yeah, it's like 9. Yeah, it's 9.
There is a
12.
Okay, there was a possibility that you did. This is the highest I've gotten in stress in this game. I do want to let you know that if you roll a 15 or higher, you just pass out. You don't wake up anymore until somebody genuinely performs some medical stuff. You just catatonic. But you're in this instance at 12. You're just going to scream your lungs out for 1 round. So you're fighting and struggling, but you're losing your next slow action, which means that you're losing the action that we rolled here. Your stress level will decrease by 1, but your friendly characters will increase. No, sorry, we'll roll a panic roll now as well. So I have a question for the 2 in the bridge, because you are technically blocked by a bulkhead, but I would say that you're close enough that the scream would definitely be audible. Is Captain Leon Hart friendly?
He was my buddy.
So yes.
Yeah.
And Dr. Drabikowski?
That's a good question.
Well, we definitely know Warden Stikes has taken him on as an ally, so go ahead and make a panic roll, Stikes. And guys, you said friendly.
I'm gonna say friendly, so
Okay.
I'll do panic roll 2.
We about to see Chain screaming again?
Alright, so Lark, what's your stress current?
7.
7.
My stress is 3
Okay,
right now.
so you'll develop a nervous twitch. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you will increase by 1. Because they have a bulkhead obscuring them, they will notice that, so we'll just go ahead and say that'll be Keist and you. And then Keist, you got an 8, which means that you start to have a tremble for this next scene or beat. You have -2 modification to your agility rolls. And 6 is, you're fine. You're keeping it together. Warden Stikes. You are aware of Leon and someone else's presence outside of the main door to the bridge. You may not have been before. And again, it is your buddy. Do you wish to try and let them in, or are you maintaining the door closed?
Oh, maintaining the door closed.
Okay.
I'm confused because I don't know why we must protect ourselves against the captain. You mind explaining that to me, Dr. Geist?
I don't know how to explain what's going on in here without blowing our cover. I mean, if you think we should...
Lockhart's dead on the ground.
Yeah. I was hoping the other ship would be here by now so we could just go, because you do have Ironfish, right? You did secure it?
I have Ironfish.
Okay. I mean, we can let him in, and I'll just tell him that she went crazy and attacked me, because that's exactly what happened. She just started attacking me. I don't know how he's gonna take it.
So you let him
handle this.
You let him in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would see a newcomer, with
Sorry.
that, again, you know him. It's not somebody you've never met before. It's the warden, and the warden appears to be decently armed. Do you reseal the door once they come in?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Apologies, Captain. We couldn't be sure at first who was on the other side of the door.
That's fine. What happened here?
Dr. Lockhart, very suddenly started screaming and attacking Dr. Keys. And in an attempt to break up the fight, unfortunately, we have suffered a casualty.
Yes. I mean, that's been happening. Everything's weird here. I don't know how to explain it either. Okay. What are you guys doing here? What's happened so far, other than that?
I'll be honest, I don't remember as a player why we're all on the bridge.
You're waiting for the charge, and once the charge is active from the bridge, you'll be able to take off with the Sederhina.
Okay.
And
I'd like to check on the charge.
yeah. The other thing I would like to note is because you are still charging, you cannot preemptively retract the umbilical because the charge is coming through the umbilical, which means you still have access, or whatever's on the other side might still have access to your ship, but that door should be sealed. And it appears to be at current.
Cool. Let's share that information with each other so we are all on that page.
Okay, yeah, that should hold for now. Right now I think we have bigger issues. Stykes here said that before I showed up that he saw someone go into some kind of secret door that I'm not even aware of myself. We need to regroup and figure out what's going on because there could be an enemy with us at this point. I was going to be looking for a motion detector to see if we could find out where this door is or how to get to it.
Where is Dr. Lark?
They're no longer with us either at this point.
Then Dr. Babbitt?
I haven't seen him since we got back on the ship. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't be fully surprised if he's part of what Stykes is talking about here. Anyways, how is the charge on the ship currently?
It's going to take a while longer, I believe.
Okay. Do we want to go together then? And we can try to find who this might be on the ship, if not Babbitt?
We should have a motion sensor somewhere. We should be able to find Dr. Babbitt.
Okay, grab that, please.
Now I have to remember someone took the motion sensor when we went onto the other ship, didn't they?
There were a couple, so you should have one.
Okay. Alright, so we'll grab the motion sensor and we will look for signs of life on the ship.
Is that what the motion tracker is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen Aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they have those little devices that they kind of hold out, and they got the beep, 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 and then it shows a little red dots. It's one of them.
That's what I did.
It's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so we know where their one is. There is one.
Yeah, you got one.
I
That's
saw it
fine.
with my own good eyes.
Oh.
No, a life form.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
want to
but-
find out exactly where it is and how we might be able to get to it. Is
It's-
what I'm saying.
It's behind that shelf that we opened.
Perhaps we should check the motion detector to see if we can find Dr. Babbitt as well.
Yes, and we don't know if this thing has moved since we walked away to regroup. So
I mean, if the door's closed, it most likely hasn't.
Do we need to
Assuming.
stop by and gear up for, weapons? before we go
As
back?
everybody turns their attention to Lockhart's corpse that has a bunch of guns still on her shoulders and shit.
Literally the entire fucking armory.
She grabbed
is
the whole
in here
armory.
with us.
Well, at least we don't have to leave the room.
Just kick her corpse aside. Just push over away from the guns. Oh man, she got brain matter on my shotgun.
Anyway, yeah, let's pick her cleaning though.
yeah, yep.
So
I loot the body.
yeah, Dr. Lockhart's
Everybody.
corpse is in the deceased folder. So if you want to, since you have access, it doesn't look like you put any of the listed items on there, but you've got the list of items, right?
Yeah, it's the list of items is in our information channel.
Yes, perfect.
Or notifications, whatever the fuck that is.
Same day.
There were 5 pistols, I know that. And there was a harpoon gun, and there was bolt gun.
So, since
Bolt
we
guns.
are moving into the next stage, we are not fully moving Babbitt into completion here. So, Brent, you are still in the oven. What I will say is it would be about 30 minutes for you to charge, for the thing to be charged. So if you want to go down there in that time span to investigate, you can. Or would you lock the door here and just hold out until you're able to take off? That way no additional problems will enter into your life and you can just deal with the one.
Or we split the group.
You could split the group. Now, I highly advise that whoever stays on the bridge is either Leon or Keist, because those are the only 2 characters I think would be cool to continue out of this story. And the rest of you can die.
Wow, John, tell us how you really feel.
JK, I didn't draw any of the other ones, okay?
What about the cat?
Oh, right. The cat
Well,
could survive. Leave the cat. The cat will pilot the ship once.
Yeah. That's actually the best way to proceed because we know the cat has plot armor.
Cannot die. I can't kill a cat.
Mhm.
It will somehow get out of here.
No, so to be honest, and not just saying this because of what you just said either, I was going to basically try to order everyone else to go after that issue currently, so I could stay here in case we can take off,
Because you're,
and because
you're
I'm
the
missing
pilot.
an arm.
Captain Pilot.
Yeah.
That's
Basically
a,
advise everyone to take guns and go.
that's a good suggestion.
Well, let's go hunting.
Does anybody else stay on the bridge?
I would say, so I would actually stand up as everyone's kind of preparing and also say, if you are not prepared for what you may find, you are more than welcome to stay here. I understand, but we do need to take care of the situation.
Is anybody ever really prepared for these kinds of things? I'm just going.
Was Stykes the one that called for the reinforcements, or is that an automatic thing?
Was Stykes the one who called for the reinforcements?
For the other ship to come.
You don't know who called the other ship to come.
Oh, so that wouldn't have been him doing that
Yeah,
to
that-
try to re...
All the things that are listed there that they mentioned, you don't understand any of that. That's probably stuff that the science team, which worked for the company, had to do with. Like
Ah.
you're a company man, but you're not like a company man. You know what I mean?
So I was just sitting in the cold and
You're the guy who made sure the prisoners did what they were supposed to do, and yeah,
got it.
And then they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and then you kind of lost relevance a little bit.
yeah. Dr. Webb was obviously one of the lead, people for the company, and basically everything above like your floor F was basically just something you never really dealt with. Like you knew they were doing stuff up here, but
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Hell yeah. Dr.
Yep.
Keith, are you going?
Yeah, I wanna check in on Dr. Babbitts and make sure they're okay.
Oh, the shot, yes, and we should, if we find Dr. Lark, we should check in on them. I know it's casualty, but she's also an android. She may have valuable things on her.
Nope. She's dead.
Again, I understand there are casualties, but she was an android. There may be valuable things still on her.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
All right.
And if
Well,
you
that's
see
good.
Babbitt, in addition to this other being, I still have my suspicions, so keep an eye on him too if he comes back with you, please.
All right. Well, let's head out then.
okay. So you all exit out.
Yep.
And you head down to the floor C.
Yeah, we would be using the motion tracker to guide us if there's anything else, but it probably, I'm guessing, has one signature.
The cat stays on the
Yes.
bridge with Leon.
Yes.
And you head down to deck C. There's no motion whatsoever. Like as you kind of search the area, motionless, you eventually come to a point where you are at the secret lab door. Dr. Keist,
Sorry, my cat almost
I'll
knocked
say
me
there it
over.
is.
Sir.
There it is. It was hidden behind a shelf, so I guess they didn't want you to figure it out.
Dr. Keist, you have worked in this lab for a long time, and you were never aware of there being a secret door here. It definitely has Weyland-Yutani markings on it. It definitely seems to be a very secure door.
And the thing is in there. Tried to pull me in with it.
And
Let's get-
where is there no sign? So I'm over by the other labs, and he's not in any of them, right?
Yeah, no, he's nowhere inside the laboratories. Yeah.
Oh no.
Are there any kind of access panels to the door, the hidden door?
The one to open the shelf.
There is an access
Okay.
panel to open the shelf, and then there's an access panel on the door to open it.
Well, let's try opening it then.
Okay. So as mentioned last time, it takes 2 additional successes for you to open it. And due to the fact that you are trying to do this to effectively assail something that you aren't aware of, but we are aware of, if you do panic roll, it will require a panic roll. Because we are kind of stressfully moving through this. We are not calmly trying to open this door.
Okay.
Is
I
there-
Alex is going to back up when they do that. With the gun out.
I am going to try to open the door. Or are we doing both doors that we have to do? Yeah.
No, the sliding door's already opened.
Okay, then let's do this one.
Yeah. So comms tech, and you need 3 total successes.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 total
Hey, look at
successes
that!
and no penalties.
Hard bitch.
The door opens. Inside, you would see a very strange secret laboratory with very strange creatures inside of vats and jars. Looks like creatures similar to what you saw in the med lab, Dr. Keist. And set up in the backspace of the area, there appears to be something like what you saw in the
Is
oh
it
my
Deck
god,
C?
the place where the plants grow. What was it
The
called?
hydroponics?
Hydroponics lab. Yeah, this very strange looking cocoon, person sized cocoon.
Oh my god. This is not good.
We have torch cutters on ship. Should we try to open?
I'm saying that, but I'm gonna take out a jar. I'm gonna take a little sample.
So,
Scientist.
wait, you approach it?
Open it.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach it. I'm gonna try to take a sample.
Okay.
People are nuts.
If she's approaching it, I'm drawing my revolver.
I'm in the doorway with mine.
Bear with me here.
This is what Kais does.
You approach it. As you do so, you kind of notice that there's this very pulsing feeling that kind of just waves over you as you get within a foot or so of it. Almost as if you're a scientist, you're aware of what a radiation dose is. Like, you understand that you've been kind of affected by it. You realize that it itself is kind of just pulsing with radiation. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a little sample. All right, how should we do this?
We could fire on it. Whatever it is, it wants to be in that pod. If we rupture or destroy, perhaps it will not achieve its goals.
Did that roll out loud, by the way, the radiation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see.
Was it not supposed to?
Yeah, it wasn't. But that's fine. You can understand that radiation will help it grow. And it is also emitting its own radiation somehow, so it is regenerating. Did that roll out loud?
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
I do have one question. It says regenerate. Is that a 7 or a 1 health?
1.
Around.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's kind of
Okay, I figured it was 1, but my brain was like, it looks a lot like a 7.
Yeah, it is a very specific
That would be crazy.
text font.
I'd be logging off right now if it was 7.
Right?
Okay, so do you step in close to it to get that sample, even though you feel this radiation?
Yeah.
So you feel as, like, once you kind of place your hands onto it, this kind of strange feeling of, like, particulates kind of getting onto your arms and hands. And you kind of take the material away, but as you kind of are doing it, you also feel that, like, your entire upper body is just very itchy. And you can see too that, like, there are small little red splotches that are appearing from where you feel like these spores contacted you. You're going to increase your stress level by 2, but you're not going to take any real damage yet.
Are you just gonna turn into an alien? Fine. Oh, baby. My
Okay.
cat is being.
You're able to secure a sample without issue, though?
Okay. Just gonna step back, start scratching.
Okay.
All right, let's do what we gotta do.
All right.
What's that? You seem to be the expert.
There's flammables in the lab, right? So we can just.
There are flammables in the lab and also in this lab.
Yeah. We could make Molotovs.
You're pretty sure that fire in these labs is probably going to cause a chain reaction of explosions if not done very delicately. To shoot the protohive with a flamethrower at this close range, because it does require close range for those, you would need to make an additional success. Just to you need to make one success just to not burn the entirety of both labs out, because you're spot
We
firing.
go.
If you make one single success, you succeed in not burning the lab, but you do not succeed in burning the hive at all. If you make 2 successes, you'll apply fire damage as per normal.
We could also shoot it with bullets and see if we rupture something.
Yeah, you can definitely just shoot the shit with guns. And here's the weird thing. It feels like guns in this space would probably be better because you might break a glass or something, but who gives a shit?
Oh, well, yeah. And if we break glasses and there's flammable stuff all over the place, then we back the fuck out and set it all on fire. It'd be fine. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do I have to be in the lab while they try to torch it?
No,
I'm
you
not
don't.
trying to torch it. I'm trying to shoot it.
You can do whatever you want, buddy. You can go wherever you want.
I think I'll go tell the captain what we found.
Okay, you're heading
While
back
you
up.
two,
Whoa! You're gonna leave the women here to
Yeah.
take care of this?
It's
yeah,
fine.
if you want, if
We don't need him.
Y'all wanna catch
Can I
yourselves
just
on
fire
fire?
my revolver now?
Yeah, shoot your gun.
Alright. How the hell do I shoot this thing? Down
Down at the bottom should be able to
button.
hit. Yeah.
I don't trust
Is it
him.
this thing? Yeah. We shoot. I do have one panic.
Okay, so go ahead and make a panic roll.
That would be a 3 6. 6, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You keep level. You shoot it. It hits. The weapon's damage is base 2, so a total of 6. The armor rating is a number. Brent, go ahead and roll me 8 dice.
Words everywhere.
Okay, so a total of 3 damage will get through, and in the shooting, bullets kind of ricochet through or kind of bounce off of it, and kind of cause a little bit of a stir in the lab as they kind of bounce a little bit, causing you to back out and kind of move towards the door. Two things happen that are kind of noteworthy. One bullet strikes a large container that's carrying one of those strange creatures I'd mentioned. And the second that the glass cracks and breaks, water splashes everywhere, and the creature seems to come to life and very quickly dart behind a counter. The creature to you looks like a crab with a very long tail and no head.
Very strange. We should probably set this place on fire. But for now, I'm gonna keep shooting.
The second thing that I would like to note is that a klaxon on your side, Captain Leon, would signal that gunfire has happened on the ship.
There's not like any kind of surveillance system throughout
No.
the ship. Would there be like camera?
Unfortunately, not on this ship. It's just
Probably
a
not.
trailer.
Well, I would just be checking systems at that point then.
Is
to
there
make sure
anything that
it's
you
still
want to
working.
make sure that you do before or after that matter?
At that point, I'm going to be trying to seal the door again as well,
Okay.
provided it can after I fuck with it. But
After the goofy shooting, Warden Stikes, you said you were going to try and head back up to the captain. They say they're going to burn it. Do you stay with
Yeah.
them for that, or you just fuck on off?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
I'll tell you when you get to the door. Ladies, are we lighting the entirety of the lab on fire?
Listen, I'm pretty sure Jabakowski is the light the match and turn and walk away while everything burns kind of person. So yeah,
Okay.
that's my vote.
I mean, we're getting off this ship anyway, so
It's fine. We can isolate.
Wait, we're
things
getting
as
off
we
of
go.
this ship? This is the ship we came in. We're leaving on this ship.
well, no, not me and Drabakowski. We have a ride coming.
Right. Right. Okay.
That for down the hall. Okay.
Why does everyone suck but me in this story?
Hey, I actually don't suck. You just don't know that I don't suck.
Well, hold on. You don't suck. It's just that the character you built is dead.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
The person who sucked, they made it suck. But okay.
Just going after my teeth again, so you know. You had to
Another thing I'm sorry. The other thing I need to note, because I wanted to make sure that the Leon situation was, but there is another thing that happened. So you're shooting it, and you're shooting it in the same room and kind of backing away. So the other thing that happens is when it gets ruptured, and parts of it kind of break, acid, seemingly pressurized, jets out from it. So you need to, the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Okay, got it. So it's the armor rating successes. So that means that you are going to take a total of 3 damage. Armor will count for it. So if you have armor on Drabakowski, roll your armor rating.
I don't think she has technically armor on here, which is weird because everybody started with it, like the vest, but
Yeah, she's not. She's a
Alright.
scientist, and she wasn't running around in a EVA suit.
can I do anything to avoid it?
Says when is damaged, some of its acid blood will splash on its attacker and anyone within engaged range. Only damage that draws blood, bang bang. Hence, a fire attack doesn't have this effect. The strength of acid splash is the acid splash rating of the segment plus the amount of damage that segment took. So damage 1, 3 successes is the damage that you'll be taking, and no, unfortunately, there is no way to dodge it because it's highly pressurized. Similar to a gun, you can't
I
dodge bullets.
am down.
You take 3 damage and you're down.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a strength of 3, so yeah.
Roll 2d6.
It's fun.
Can I like drag her out of the room and then do medical check on her?
Well, once we deal with the critical injury, hold on.
15.
1-6, you said?
15.
1-5. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Two, 1-5. Okay, so it kind of smashes against your jacket, coach jacket, the sleeve specifically, and some of it kind of smashes or causes like a steam spray off from it into your eyes. So you
Awesome.
kind of quickly throw your coat down to the ground and kind of back away with the gun. As Warden Sykes you can hear his footfall moving away from you. You have blood in your eyes. This is not a fatal critical injury. Your observation and range combat rolls are at -2 until someone makes a medical aid roll for you, which I believe Dr. Keiss was doing just now.
Yeah.
Roll a medical aid roll. And
Okay, I'm not
Oh.
great at medical.
so I
Whoa.
need you to make a panic roll.
Oh god.
14. That's the highest we've gotten, folks. So because you were in the back and you were kind of getting ready to rush forward, and Warden Sykes is just leaving at that point, you are going to decide yourself which of those two you're going to immediately attack and try to kill. You lose it. You are berserk. You must immediately attack the nearest person or creature, friendly or not. You won't stop until you or the target is broken. To help you with rationale on this, attacking Dr. Drabakowski, you're physically fighting, hitting them with your melee attacks. You're trying to resuscitate them even though they're fine, and you're just kind of out of it. If you attack Stikes, the reason you're attacking him is because he was trying to run away the whole time, and this happened because of him, and you're responding in an angry fashion.
Oh, I'm sorry, John, but you.
Okay.
How
So
dare you?
Like,
you kind of chase after him, and again, you can attack because you can attack either of them with your full itinerary, like whatever weapons you have, etc. But yeah, you can go ahead and attack him. You will be doing so until you or the target is broken, and then I need Doctor Drabakowski and Warden Stikes to go ahead and make a panic roll as well.
Hell yeah.
You're cool as a cucumber,
Mm-hmm.
despite the acid spray. And you're cool as a
It's just
cucumber. You're despite
It's
the
just
acid
a minor
spray.
setback. It's just
Yeah.
a minor setback.
Okay, so go ahead and go for it, Dr. Keist.
okay, so I'm like, because I made the comment about him running away. Before I left, I grabbed a pistol, so I want to shoot at him.
Okay, you chase after him a little bit and then just pull the gun and fire at his back.
Yeah. What do I need to? Do I?
Down at the bottom, there should be a pistol if you loaded it onto your
Okay.
sheet, and it should
Oh, I
have an
got it, I
attack.
got
Yeah.
it.
I need you to move.
Okay. Well, holy shit.
All
Go ahead and make a panic
right,
roll.
Kevlar.
What was that D6 for?
That was my cat hitting things. Sorry.
No worries.
I will be right back.
Dr. Keist, panic roll again.
Panic roll again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry. It's a gun. It's a gunshot. There's no panic roll. Your gun's empty. It's no longer shooting. So that is a total of 4 damage to the back on. My brain. Weapons don't incur
Thanks.
panics. Bang! 4 damage. Warden Stikes, you
Kevlar?
have armor. So go ahead and roll however many. Yeah, it should have an armor rating. I don't know how it works. There it goes. No
Well,
sixes.
I take 4 damage.
How much health do you have?
4.
Okay, so go ahead and make a critical injury roll.
Hopefully.
This is fucking wonderful.
Nobody would have shot each other if y'all just left me alone.
How do you do that?
You roll
Again?
2d6. The first is the 10s, the second is the 1s. So 51. This is a lethal shot, which means that you are out of the fight before you even joined it. Whoa. Why'd you roll twice?
They said, no, never mind. 2d6. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go with the second one, that is the funniest one. Well-
Either way, it doesn't matter because he's dead. So
Well, no, it's lethal. It doesn't kill you. So you have a day to satisfy the heal. It will kill you. Sometimes lethality is durational. Sometimes it'll be like 1 shift, 1 day, 1 round. It just depends on how the wound works. So you just got shot in the back, the lower back. You had your kidney blown out.
lovely.
You cannot run. You are grounded. You can only crawl, and you have a -2 to mobility rolls. And again, it'll take
I'm good.
1 day for you to die of that
Hi.
wound.
Can I do anything, or am I just out?
So you are incapacitated.
Okay.
Specifically, what that means is that you are broken. So Dr. Keist, you are out of the fight as well. If you want to be, your berserk ends. You're no longer forced to be killing him. You realize exactly what happened, in the shot, and see him kind of like on the ground, in agony, but not dead yet. Immediately roll for critical injury. You did. If you're not dead, which you aren't, you can crawl and mumble through the pain. You can't perform any other actions, and you can't roll for any skills. You can't go below 0 health, but each further attack that causes damage will give you another critical injury. So you can still talk, but you can't really do anything fight-wise.
I guess I'll just crawl up away somewhere. I don't know.
So Dr. Keist,
Die in the corner.
you've got a day to die. So, like, if somebody performs medical aid on you, you can kind of functionally still exist and like take actions, but you will have the mobility penalty, and you won't be able to run or anything like that because you have a lot of strain on that side of your body. Dr. Keist, you shot him.
I think once I realize coming out of the panic, she's gonna just throw the gun and be like, "Oh, I think we should get back to the what's A?
The bridge.
The bridge.
I just be the cat now.
You just want to claw my eyes out with the cat.
No,
that's
he's
all.
in there with Leon. He's gonna claw Leon's eyes out.
What did I do?
So hold on. Because we set a precedent that the guy with one arm was able to take actions, I'm going to say that we're going to keep the same precedent because the wounds are similar. They both are technically lethal and should do the same thing, so we're going to keep the consistency. John, she kind of throws the gun away after she's done. Warden Stikes, you're on the ground. You're kind of crawling away. You do have your hand on your shotgun. How would you want to respond as you're like on death's door in your mind?
You crazy toothless bitch. Can he grab the grenade off his belt?
Yeah.
I want to throw the grenade at him.
Oh my
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll with it. I have to maintain consistency. I did let the guy with no arm and the lady with a broken leg to do shit.
No,
So
I love it. I
Hey,
love
no
it.
arm. People live without that sometimes.
I mean, you only really need one kidney.
But
It's true.
John,
You do only need one kidney.
that was a low blow. Call me a toothless bitch.
you son of a...
That
You're
was
an asshole.
pretty
You shot
Joel.
him for no reason.
It wasn't
Shut
no
up.
reason. The rules told me I had to. Shut up. So you're
That is
throwing.
all in character.
You are throwing a grenade. You should be able to click the attack for that. I think that will.
Do you want me to add to subtract anything because of this?
Yeah, -2.
Okay.
It's not technically a mobility roll, but you are trying to throw something, and kind of hard to do with that your mid-second. God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy your electronic ball breaker, I guess. In the comments, it says these grenades are called electronic ball breakers.
Make a stamina roll. I would say Keist and Dravakowski.
Oh, okay.
Stop destroying my ship, I yell.
Right? Stop destroying our ship.
Okay.
I
Keist,
picture you say it under under your breath. You're like,
Keist,
"Stop it."
that's a success. And Dravakowski.
All humans must make a hard stamina roll -2.
Hard stamina roll requires 2 successes, so that's a failure, actually. Oh, it's a -2 to the dice roll. That's what the hard means. Okay. I feel bad. I told her.
Re-roll it?
Yeah, if you could. You'll take -2 at the when it pops up the dice request, and then Dravakowski, same for you.
I should have asked.
Oh, sorry. Make a stamina roll with a -2. Lark. You missed everything. I'll rewind it for you after you make that stamina roll. No worries. It's about to do it in character too.
First they leave me on the station. Now they shoot me in the kidney. So
I just want to point out, I never hurt you. I just threw your gun away.
Okay.
A lot of
Okay.
fun. I'm better than the
Friends
human.
awake. We love
Okay.
this.
Yeah, no panics are
Not yet.
super necessary, but those are failures. So you're stunned for the next round.
all yours,
Awesome.
Babbitt.
What I will also note is
Lay up.
because of the
Lay up.
electronic mega voltage in that space, Brent, I'm going to have you roll a total of 8 dice. If you roll any successes, the electronics will cause the door to slide shut in response to the detonation. You did not roll any. Okay.
Wanna push that?
During the next round, the closest person to the lab would have been Drabakowski. The scene cuts for a second from like the explosion, and everything's quiet. And for some reason, the camera is focused on the shelves and spaces inside the lab. Out from behind it creeps a spider-like, crab-like creature with a long tail, and it moves over to Drabakowski.
Yep.
Yep.
Fucking layup.
it will not.
My dream is finally coming true.
It will not even get to like the. You are immediately grappled on the face, and
Hugged. I'm hugged on the face.
you are currently stunned, so you cannot oppose the roll. So it literally just wraps its tail around your neck, slaps itself on your face, and you know the rest of the story. And
Very invasive procedure, yes.
yes, the facehugger immediately moves into its next step, which is the final embrace. It has itself on you, and you just are now unconscious. That is
Yep.
pretty much it. It is quick, it is sudden, and when you come to, Keist, you would look over at Drabakowski, who's at the doorway. She is halfway through the door, so that was the other thing too. Is if the door had shut,
Been cut in half.
right? I think we got the better of two options. You agree, Lark, right?
Yeah,
yeah, 100%.
obviously.
Okay. And the
Now Brent's my buddy.
the next beat would be Keist. You're coming to. As we stated, you were crawling away after all of that shit, right, John?
Yeah.
Okay. So by this time, you've made it to long range, and you've made it to the elevator. You have not gone up yet, but you are at the elevator, and you know that the hard part is when you get to B, you're going to have to crawl all the way across the cargo hole to get to the elevator that goes to the bridge. So, for Keist,
Let's go.
you see Drabakowski in a very strange state that is not something that you are aware of. But I think everybody in the game understands what's happening there. And then you see a blood trail off the ground going towards the elevator. And your gun on the ground also. And don't worry about the thing inside the lab.
Also, my revolver's probably on the ground next to me.
Yep, true.
And it's not out of ammo.
And it's not out of
It's
ammo.
not out of ammo.
Should have stayed on the bridge.
None of this would happen, John.
He should have stayed on the bridge.
What would you like to do, Keist, as a follow-up?
I need Drabakowski.
Okay.
So,
You don't know what's on her face. Do you try to extract it from her or pull it off of her? It's one of the things that was inside of Dr. Babbitt's laboratory.
The secret laboratory that nobody knew about.
Until now.
With a fucking
Not Dr.
face hugger
Babbitt's.
on board.
I was gonna ask you what was on my lab in case I didn't get to where I'm at right now, and
You
I was
very
hoping it was something
specific.
like that.
We very specifically discussed that you were a xenomorphic doctor for Wayland Yutani, and you were here to do what you were here to do. So
But yeah, I was gonna release that then
Yeah.
onto the ship.
it makes sense. You are where you are. Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely the worst of times, but it's not the end of the whole deal.
But it's not the end of times yet.
Yes.
I'm going to try to remove it from her face.
Okay. So we are. It just wrapped, so it's not like it's pretty much locked on. I will allow you to try and get it off of her. However, I'm going to do a bit of ad hocery here. I want you to go ahead and add a stress, and then
Okay.
make an attempt. It's going to be It's going to be strength based. I don't think there's a skill here. So yeah, just strength.
Just strength.
Unless you're trying to do medical stuff. If you're trying to do like cutting it off, that's a different story. A very, very different story.
No.
Are you sure you don't want to do that?
Yeah.
You don't know that it's acid blooded.
Am I
Well,
adding or subtracting?
finding
anything?
tools. Yeah. That, so for the strength check, it's just going to be hard. So -2.
-2.
Every
Okay.
good doctor carries a scalpel with them in their shirt pocket.
Okay. Okay. So it hasn't fully gotten itself onto her. Like it hasn't like fully clamped. It has put its thingy in there. Thingy. But you kind of grasp at it and kind of pull. And due to the way that Drabakowski's hair sits, you're able to kind of like move it off of her. And there's kind of this sickening, like wet sound as the proboscis extracts from her throat. And you can see that there's this residue of like black liquid on her lips as it comes off. And you're kind of holding it and it starts moving, but then it kind of stops like twitching. It's like slowly moving its tendrils, and its tail still lashed around her neck. But once you've got it up and you're holding it up, it's like fighting to try and get back to her, but then it just stops moving. The ovipositor, sorry, correct, yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking hack. I'm a fraud. I don't belong in this suit. I'm sorry. But you managed to pull it off. The tail still lashed around her neck. So right now, Drabakowski, you are suffering from the effects of drowning. But you're also broken, and this is not a physically simple process. So I'd like for you to go ahead and 2 things. First, you're going to make a critical injury roll, so 2d6, because you could die
Okay.
from the process. And then the second thing, if you do not die from the process, 2 and 6.
26. Yeah.
I was hoping it was 24. So as it's coming up, like it kind of like dribbles the blood, and its things are kind of moving quite hastily. It actually stabs its like right side into your shoulder, so your left shoulder is like impaled by its feet
Lovely.
quite heinously, and it like slashes your shoulder out. So you can't use that arm. It's a non-fatal injury, so go ahead and make a panic roll. All right.
I
That's a
swear
7.
I'm saving you. I swear I'm saving you.
You develop a nervous twitch, so you gain a stress level, and Kais, you gain a stress level, and you have a
My
minus.
stress is at 10.
Great, wonderful.
You're doing great.
That's it. But yeah, you pull it off of her, and after a fashion, like when it's dead, you kind of slowly like untighten the thing. Let me see what drowning does. Drowning. Okay, it's just exactly what I did. So make a medical aid roll once you've got it effectively off.
Me or
Her
Nice.
on you, yeah. And no panic here,
Adding or subtracting?
no penalties. Okay, no panic roll here. You managed to kind of like focus up and kind of like get to making sure she doesn't have anything inside of her throat that's like blocking her airways. You basically perform kind of like a CPR and just kind of help her. You are live again, but you still have all of the critical penalties that you've suffered so far. You're going up to the cargo bay, and as you kind of make it there, you start dragging yourself across the cargo bay towards the elevator up to the bridge, right, John?
Yeah.
Okay, so effectively you're gut shot, and you're just like dragging yourself, like you're bleeding, but you're not bleeding like crazy. Like you're bleeding a lot, but you're not bleeding like, so
Yeah.
much that you're going to die of blood loss. And yeah, the pain is absolutely insane due to where you were hit. Leon, you lose a stress. Because you're just sitting and doing nothing during all of this stage.
I'm hearing grenades and gunfire go off in my
Honestly,
ship. What do you mean?
Klaxons and stuff appearing on your stuff, that's fine, because it's all behind the door, the bulkhead that you sealed. So
True.
you're kind of like doing fine. The next thing that you note at the end of this double shift is that the battery is fully charged.
Heck yeah, we're starting this thing up and getting out of here.
As you begin the process of detaching the umbilical and getting the ship ready to pull out of the side of the space station, we suffer a the black hole is a madness roll. So everybody roll a d6, and we're currently doing it at 8 plus any bonuses that we have. So Babbitt, you're fine. Keist,
Ooh.
you are at a plus 10 for this roll.
Mhm.
And Dravakowski, I think you're at a 4. Okay.
I am.
I'm at a 4 too.
You are at a 4 as well. Okay. We're not dealing with.
Ellipse.
Yeah, we're not dealing with that. So boring. Kimmy,
Are you denying me my epilepsy?
I'm also. It's just a boring one. It's so boring.
It's fine. It's fine.
The only one that's interesting is Keist. Psychosis. You lose your shit. You are staring down at an individual you just helped, but the liquid that's on her lips, it's very similar to what you would expect, from like the creatures you've seen. Dr. Babbitt had it in a secret lab. It had to have been Babbitt who had it. I mean, looking at the laboratory, and as you're kind of like piecing everything together and she starts breathing, you hear this kind of almost sickening, like, breaking sound. It almost sounds like flesh being pulled apart. And when you look up, you see the cocoon is breaking open. Stepping out of it is a creature similar to the one you saw exit the hydroponics lab and trail you into the cold areas of the space station. This one, however, has Dr. Babbitt's face. No hair, clean shaven, and more androgynous, but with the very similar features in mind. His body has been completely done over in a biomechanical way, and what you notice extremely strange about him is it seems like even though he's this freshly born thing out of the cocoon, there's already this strange molting to his body. You flew too
Dr.
close to
Babbitt?
this. Brent, you're up.
Oh, I can talk. Okay, I didn't know if I could talk or not.
Yeah, it's you. You're the guy.
Oh man, I didn't. Honestly, thought I would just be like a mute murder machine. To be honest.
If you want to do that, you can. It's entirely up to you.
No, I feel like Babbitt would have like a sentimental figure for
Well,
her.
Let's look at the scene from your perspective. You break out of the
Also
thing,
that.
right? And you see your face hugger next to Dr. Dravakowski. You assume that it was forcibly removed during implantation. Your brain is hypersensitive to information and very more acute at this moment. So you're very understanding of like the scene. It's almost like the trope of like Sherlock Holmes, right? You're like seeing all of these details and piecing together puzzles and seeing the past through what's present. And you would see Dr. Keist is like looking at you with like a completely horrified look. And she, in a quizzical, concerned, panicked and almost childlike way, says, "Dr. Babbitt?" And I want to make sure that you understand, Keist. The psychosis means you've lost your shit. You are either going to attack the nearest person or creature, friendly or not, and keep going until it or you is broken, as per normal, or I would say in this instance you can run.
Oh, run.
Okay,
After I say Dr. Babbitt, and then
like a kind of like a muted scream, kind of like, you know, chambering out of your mouth, but you don't let it as you rush away. Where are you running to? Knowing what you know about the thing.
Okay. There's a body on the ground. I'm a try to run to the bridge.
Okay, so you are heading towards the elevator. Okay, pause there. Warden Stikes, you've made it to the elevator from the cargo bay to the bridge. At this juncture, there's an intercom system. If you wish to plug it in and, like, you know, try and talk to anybody, you can call up to the bridge or other stations in the space. Or you can just keep moving, getting into the elevator and making your way up. John?
I just keep going, I guess.
Okay. Again, what I'll say at this juncture, too, is if you wish for the character to just die, I will allow it, because you have been kind of causing strain on yourself in moving this way. But if you wish to, like, do something with this character in this drag, you're welcome to keep him alive and make it all the way to the top. If you die, you're
Yeah,
the
I'll
cat.
make it to the top.
But if you die, you're the cat.
No, I want to be the cat.
Okay.
I want to be the cat.
So it seems like Lark's probably going to be the cat. You're the cat?
I said I want to be the cat. If
You
that's
do?
an option.
You do want to be the cat? Okay, so yeah, you die in
Yes.
the elevator on your way up to the bridge. Okay,
We
you are the cat. Hold on.
wait, Mark. Do you really want to be the cat?
No, I'm okay. I've already died
Sure.
once. You died before me.
Me too. Man. All right.
It's fine.
Everybody dies.
It's fine. We take turns, remember? And this is your turn. You get to be the cat.
Well, no, I've already died.
Yeah.
This
we
is...
can rock, paper, scissors.
I have already died too, so
You're not dead
your
yet.
turn.
You're not dead yet. So,
Lock-
Hey, you're not dead
Lockhart.
yet.
sorry, show the
Lockhart.
players.
Lockhart.
So let's make sure we understand. You are now
Beautiful cat.
the cat, aka Adrian. You are a 13-year-old tuxedo cat.
Oh,
What?
man.
You are a gluttonous cat. So you're
The
probably
signature
Why can't I? It's reopening.
signature item is crusty butt. They are implanted with a PDT, which means that they are locatable on the ship at all times. Their agenda is eat, sleep, and get the humans to give him all the attention. Claws and fangs. The cat attacks with claws and teeth. No bonus and damage 1. The attack can never inflict more than 1 damage. And nimble. They are fast. They always land on their feet. You can relieve stress level. Would you like to utilize this feature? On
Hell yeah.
Leon. All
Hell
right.
yeah.
So Leon, you are relieved of. Make a manipulation roll, John, which would be.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
By
new
far the
sheet,
best
who this?
character.
Empathy plus manipulation 4, 6
There's
dice.
6.
Each success rolled. Okay.
Oh my god.
Too many R's, my guy. Okay, you rolled none, so
Wow.
Leon hates the cat.
No, I don't.
Wow.
No, I
I
don't.
love the
I
cat.
pictured I was on top of his head, and now I'm like
Oh, so yeah, you're, instead of
latched.
relieving stress, you're like trying to get on him, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
that's
more, yeah. All right,
I
all right.
refuse to be a character that doesn't like cats. So
I agree.
You're sneezing. He's just fucking sneezing now.
Dr. Babbitt, we described the scenario. You
Yeah.
see that Keist is running away from you with great haste, but there is also a living body of Dr. Dravakowski, and she is coming too. So you are awake, and I do not believe that Kimmy ever said she grabbed your revolver, so it is at your side. I want to know if this is going to be hostile, or if you're going past her and leaving her alone and heading after Keist.
I mean, I'm going to pretty correctly assume, hopefully, that what needed to be done got done by the facehugger.
What's great about this is you don't have to assume. So you are a part of the Song of the Spears. So you actually understand that there is a partial implantation inside of her. It will not survive without care.
Okay. Do I know how to take care of it?
Yeah, so you would be able to perform a check, which we'll deal with here in a second. If you wish to take her and secure her, you can make sure that the implantation goes through as it's intended to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay. So what that's going to be hostile. So unless Dravakowski is just wanting to act like she's out of it, I'd like for the two of you to grab an initiative card. Brent, take 2, put them on top of the map, and then Lark, go ahead and take yours and put it at the bottom of the map.
Do you want more?
I'm sorry, what am I doing?
Grab an initiative card, that deck down at the bottom right, and then drag it and drop it toward the bottom of the ship.
Okay. All the way down here.
All right. So, Babbitt, you get to act twice before she even gets to act. And since you're just doing kind of a mundane thing, go ahead and roll 8d6. And this is an easy enough check. You just need you just need 1 success. Yeah, so you got extra successes, so you can go ahead and do extra things, but you pick her up and basically just manhandle her like a doll and drag her back into the space, and then basically place her in the cocoon.
You can convince yourself that this is what I would want.
What? Wait.
This is one of your extra successes.
I assume that's successful, Lark. Character and so you place her back in, and the living hive will kind of wrap around her automatically and secure her. At that point, your second initiative is walking back over to the facehugger, picking it up, and causing a bit of your own personal like electrosensory radiation to fill it and re-spur it back to life, and then place it back on her face.
Jesus Christ.
Dravakowski, I'm assuming you would want to resist, so during your initiative, we're going to go ahead and allow you to do just that.
Dravakowski would like to resist. I don't. But, anyway.
Just
Dravakowski, right?
Just play the role. Go
Let it happen.
Make a melee combat roll, and
All right.
you are, because it effectively puts
Close
you
combat.
Close combat, yeah, sorry. And then -2, because you are effectively encased. You're being grappled by the protohive.
Okay. I'm waiting for it to show up. There we go.
No successes,
I
but
failed!
no successes,
Yeah!
but no panic. So as it's
No
happening, you come to
panic.
this realization that whatever it's doing, maybe it will be like what happened to Dr. Babbitt, and you kind of just embrace that mentally as your vision goes dark and you feel it
Yeah.
once again.
I convinced myself that this is what I would want.
Perfection. And you once again feel the, again, I'm just going to say insertion of the ovipositor into your throat, and everything goes dark. Okay, great. Leon, we'll deal with you here in a second. Dr. Keist, you make it to the elevator. You hit the button for it to return, because remember, it went up with a dead man or a dying man in it. And it arrives just after that situation inside of the doorway happens. Dr. Babbitt, once you've secured her and you understand she is now basically going to take her some time, but the protohive will hasten that process, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I gotta go get the one that hurt my precious baby facehugger.
You start walking after her, or do you run? Again, your call. However you want to be perceived. Are you aura farming or no?
I'm definitely aura farming.
All right, so we are definitely in horror
As you
film. Yeah, slow walk out of the space. Go
This
ahead.
is like going at the end of fucking Hunter x Hunter.
Exactly.
The elevator arrives, you get in, you close it, you go up. You would see well off in the distance down the hallway, just like at the turn of it, you would see the form of Babbitt appear in shadow, similar to how it happened in the basement spaces, but you're not within close range, and you see the elevator go up, Dr. Babbitt. At this point, you kind of radiate a bit yourself, and your senses are changed. You are not seeing only through your eyes. You hear things differently, you feel things differently. Because of this, you are acutely aware that there are tunnel spaces, Jeffries tubes as they're called, that run alongside the elevator. If you wish to go full charge mode, you think you could probably outrun the elevator to the top, potentially.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Perfect. So, Dr. Keist, you would be arriving at the cargo bay. I'm going to have both of you roll a d6, and whoever rolls higher goes first. Simple as. Okay. Babbitts, you arrive at the top. You are waiting for the elevator. The elevator door opens,
Oh, that's good.
and you see what you see. Hold on. Leon. The elevator actuators keeps moving, and I had mentioned there aren't any cameras in most spaces. There are cameras in the cargo bay. So as the elevator is going up, you would look into that space. You would see a bulkhead door kind of break open from one of the tube side along to the elevator. You would see a very strange creature get out and move in front of the elevator. And as you're watching, you would see the elevator door open and Dr. Keist do what she's about to do next. I deleted your initiative cards like a fool. I'm going to have you draw new ones because... Well, no, you had 2 and 6, right, Brent?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Keist, go ahead and draw an initiative card. So 7. You go first. Closing the elevator door, you know it wouldn't close fast enough. He's standing right at the door, but you feel like you could potentially rush past him if you take the retreat action, and that's all your action is, to get into the cargo space and try and find something that would hide you away from him, potentially. Or you can break down and cry. That is an option. You could fight him. You do have a pistol, which I assume you
could
reloaded.
accept your fate.
You could accept your fate.
No, I dropped that pistol after I.
Oh, yeah, you never picked it back up.
No.
You never grabbed the other one either.
There was a dead man on the elevator with stuff, right?
Not this
The
one.
other one.
It's on the other one. You made it.
Oh,
across.
the other one. The other one.
Yeah.
Right.
I did that intentionally, and then you would see the blood trace. Like you could see the blood goes all the way across the cargo. So like maybe he's alive. You'd also know there are power loaders on the cargo bay. So this could get This could get pretty fucking rad, really, really quick. You could go into the cargo space. There's plenty of spaces to hide here, if you can just get away from him. But again, the first thing you'd have to do is make a mobility roll, and your action would need to be retreat if you didn't want to suffer a possible attack from him.
Let's do it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a mobility roll. I just need 1 success. There is a potential for panic here.
I think I have a -2 agility, so that affects this, right?
Mobility is a separate stat, right?
Oh yes, it's separate, but
Yeah.
it's under the agility umbrella. That's all.
Oh, then it's a -2.
Okay. It's part of the cluster. That's why I just wanted.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a question.
Yeah.
So just to make sure I'm not messing up here, my speed 2 was for my last one. This one's speed 3. So would I get 3 turns?
Wow. Yeah, good question. Hold on.
I don't even need to take a turn. You just go.
Yeah, draw another card. It is less than 7. So that is a success, a series of successes. There is a panic roll. Because this is a retreat action, retreat actions can't fail. Go ahead and roll a panic roll, and we'll see what happens next.
Well,
Okay. So
again.
you scream. You lose a stress level. There are no friendly characters around you, but you get past him. You make it into the cargo area. You're not hiding, so he kind of knows where you are. And I would say since you're full on running, it will take you one of your turns to catch her, but the other 2 you can kind of go nuts. Okay. She bolts into the space, and sorry, Trevakowski, you're in there, and then Babbitt, you are at the elevator, and Kais, you are in the cargo space. And if you get another turn, you'll be able to make it to the elevator, but again, because it is currently up, you will have to spend a turn waiting for it to come down. Not forgetting the obvious third party, though. We're going to go ahead and say on initiative, I believe you were at 6, you catch her, you get to her.
Yep.
And on initiative 3, you'd be taking an action.
Yep. And if I remember correctly, I roll a d6.
That's right. And then...
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I'm trying to read what it does. It would be mesmerize.
Go ahead and click the dice next to it. There's like a little D6 next to it. Go ahead and click that, and it should drop the logic on us. Okay, so you got 0 successes. You get up to it, and basically you stare at her as she's staring at you in fear. Let's read together. Hold on. Is there a roll? There is no roll. There is no damage. Got it. Okay, so it's not failed yet. Kimmy, go ahead and make a wits roll. Just the attribute, no skill.
Adding or subtracting anything?
No adds or subtracts. Okay, no successes. And yeah, this is not a panic-inducing roll. It is a defensive roll. So what that means is that if you roll a failure or a 1 in the roll, you cannot push, which is why there's no push button there. In addition, the stress level increases by 1 for you, Kimmy, and you are currently entranced and immobilized by Dr. Babbitt. Then it'll go to Dr. Babbitt on 2.
Yeah, and so with it, it says if uninterrupted, which would be this, I perform the fatal kiss
Perfect.
attack.
Yeah, the fatal kiss would be the next roll. It immediately chooses that for you. Correct. Go ahead and click it. Make an opposed roll with 10 base dice against the target's close combat skill. So she's going to... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, got it. Go ahead and roll... Wait, did it already roll?
No, it doesn't pull any dice up. I
That's
don't
weird.
think.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Yeah,
10d6. That's several successes. Kimmy, go ahead and make a close combat skill check, and you have a no penalty, but you need to hit 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Okay. And again, this is a defensive roll, so it's no panic inducing. You lean in for a kiss. Immediately roll for another attack with 10 base dice. So go ahead and roll 10 more d6. 1 success means that you lock lips with the victim, lashing your barbed tongue into her mouth. Kimmy, you're immediately broken, which was already the case, and you suffer injury number 46, which is ruptured intestines. God damn.
No.
God damn. So ruptured intestines.
That was a lot of tongue. That was
Yeah.
a deep kiss. When you read a romance novel, and you
Literally got her
see
guts.
deep kiss. That's what it means.
Oh my god, that's just absolutely wild. I'm sorry, you two. By the way,
I get it.
it's like Dr. Babbitt. So it is a lethal roll, or it is a lethal critical injury. It also gives you a disease with virulence 6, which I believe you're going to roll a stamina roll and determine whether or not you are kind of suffering that effect. In the next turn, the next shift, you will die unless medical aid is established. Because of the dramatic scenario, I am interested in letting you roll it if you wish to kind of move away from him and do it. But I will allow for Dr. Babbitt to respond, as you won't be able to retreat and make a medical aid roll.
Okay.
At the bottom of the initiative, though, Leon, did he just walk away?
I think so.
Oh, there
He's
you
back.
Okay.
I was still listening and everything. I was checking my
Leon.
AC because it's acting weird.
You're watching this whole thing happen in the cargo bay. Is there anything that you would like to do regarding this matter? It very much looks like, from what you can see on the camera, Dr. Keist is dead. Like, they
Yeah.
embraced, she started spitting up blood and bile, and kind of, like, is backing away from the thing. It looks
She
horrific.
died from sheer bliss of that very passionate kiss.
This is probably the sexiest game I've
Um.
ever run. This is probably
Well, so last I was going to start initiating taking off from here and everything, and I also was trying to seal
That's
the
already-
door originally.
That's
with
already
the-
that's
the
already
bolt
that's
on.
already done. That's already done. We're
Okay.
there. You're basically, the umbilical has been retracted, and you have pulled not entirely away from the space, but you are pulling away from the space. Looking at the ship, keeping in mind the location that you're currently watching, they are on the cargo bay. Is there anything that you would like to do at all?
Open the cargo bay.
Do I have to stay at the controls in order to continue this?
So you are at the control station for the entirety of the ship. So I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that that's clear. And they are in the cargo bay.
Yep.
Which you could open up into space.
Yes. Which I was asking for a few certain reasons.
Yeah,
but,
you do not have to
if I
stay
at the
at the space. However, to extract the ship from the side of Erebos, you will need to be piloting. So you will need to be here. It's not going to autopilot itself out of the. It's going to be a bit of a roll. We're going to have you make a piloting roll.
Yeah. Okay.
But if
Yep,
you want
so
to
I
stop doing that and do something else, you can.
I want to actually. So there is like doors that could open up for the cargo, correct?
That's right.
Like dock. So I do want to try to attempt to open those at this point.
Okay. Dr. Babbitt, you are very aware that that is the case. You have two options. You can attempt to flee and head back the way you came. You can take your victim with you, your meal, whatever you want to call it, and try and escape back to the elevator. Okay. Option 1. Option 2 is you can try and rush forward and get to the elevator, but this will draw you closer to the cargo bay doors and would mean that you would have a kind of higher risk of being sucked out. Okay? Those are your options. What would you like to do?
I definitely think it would be better to go back to the other elevator.
Okay. So it's still going to be at a penalty. It will be a hard difficulty roll because you are going to be sucked out into space. Let me take a look at the perfected real quick. They have a mobility of 9. So I would like you to go ahead and make a mobility of 9 roll, but you have a -2. Okay. So you make it to the elevator access shaft, and do you keep Keist with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You burrow down into the space. As the cargo bay door opens, you watch as everything that's in the cargo bay, power loaders, all that shit, dumps out into space. And you would also note that the creature does manage to get away from that and slip into the ship below. But at this juncture, what you've effectively done is you've cut off the bridge from the rest of the ship. The elevator chimes on your side, and when you kind of check out there to see if there's anything there, you would see the dead body of Warden Sykes laying inside of the elevator.
You're welcome.
There are escape pods on the bridge,
You're welcome.
and you have make a pilot roll.
Yes.
Where's that? Here.
Okay. You managed to pull the ship away from Erebos, and you are now at a clear vector where you can effectively pilot the ship wherever you want it to go. Looking at the scenario, if you escape, the entire bottom half of the ship is now at the pleasure of the creature. You don't know what it can do. You have an escape pod if you'd like.
At this point, I would know that it's no longer in.
Yeah, you saw it escape.
Plan B, right?
You saw it escape. It escaped back into the elevator shaft that leads down to sea. And it would have to go down to sea now that the cargo bay doors open, because that's effectively that space zeroed out. And yeah.
I'd be able to reclose those doors now.
You could if you wanted to, but that would allow anything to freely move through that space.
Okay.
Out of character note, you don't know whether it needs to breathe oxygen or not. Out of character note for Brent, because you might be wondering the same thing. You do require oxygen. Right
Yeah,
now.
I would probably just hold steady with what I'm doing currently while trying to figure something out.
Okay. So where are you piloting the ship towards? Are you piloting it away from Erebos and the black hole? Are you piloting it into Erebos and the black hole?
I'd be piloting away at this point.
Okay. Brent, you go back to your lab with Keist and just chuck the pound of flesh into your hole. You sick fuck. You, at this point, would also come to realize that you have the ability to talk to Leon. Not through intercom, but you feel like you can connect with people's minds in this very limited way and speak to them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll, so I would also know that, A, I need the doors closed to be able to get to where he's at.
Correct.
And B, he has an escape pod.
Yes.
And would I have enough, would my brain be able to get it to where I could make the ship go where I need it to go?
From down here, no. What you could do
But
is
from the
shut it
bridge?
off and make it go nowhere. But if you got to the bridge, you could probably pilot it.
Okay.
Or make him pilot it against his will.
Also that.
His brain can be yours.
Yeah, I would like I would just be in the back of Leon's mind. Close the doors. Close the cargo doors and leave. This is my ship.
No.
He speaks out loud.
I would not be doing that. I don't.
This is the best outcome for
Is there,
you.
What I will say is hearing a person's voice appearing in your head is obviously panic-inducing. Go ahead and make a panic roll for me.
got a
D6
7.
plus 7. All right. So
8.
you kind of say no, but it's with more of like a shaking, kind of trembling. You develop a tremble, I believe, is 8. So yeah, you -2 to your mobility or agility rolls for the turn.
Can I look up at him as the cat and move my
Yes.
mouth?
And you can also purr and do whatever abilities you have. Yeah.
I'll purr again.
I mean, also if you want to
Hey, there we go.
get 6 stress down off that, Leon, and also if you wanted to just like hit the doors closed because he was playing with that thing. I mean, you could accidentally. Before you even ask, no, you cannot reach out to the mind of the cat.
Damn it.
That's what I was supposed to.
I
And then
saw
I'd like
that
look
in
up at
your
Leon and
eyes.
just go. Bah, 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 bah. The cat's gonna go into the escape pod.
Yeah, the cat goes into the escape pod. Ooh. It purrs, and then it goes into the escape pod.
Is there anything in the bridge that I would be able to essentially create some kind of like minor explosion or fire?
No. The only thing you could do with the ship at this point is pilot it into the black hole or into
Yeah.
Erebos Station. And you know exactly where to hit Erebos Station to cause a very big explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be going into. I don't want to go into the black hole because I don't trust
Yes.
that whole situation because that's what's been causing so much of this stuff. I would go ahead and try to start piloting it towards Erebos.
Okay. Babbitt, it is not hard for you to realize what's happening.
Yeah.
You have some methods at your own disposal. You have you have access to engineering, which means you can stop the ship entirely. You also have access to the drive and the plasma collection storage unit. You could overload it and blow it up if you wanted to. Obviously, not what you want to do. But if you wanted to stop the ship from going in any space, you could.
Yeah, if I recognize what's happening, I'm gonna try to stop the ship.
Okay, so that's happening. Well, Leon, are you staying on the ship to try and make sure that it's kind of continuing its drive toward that and make sure the job is done and effectively killing yourself, or are you getting onto the escape pod and letting it kind of fly on its own?
So, with my knowledge of how fast an escape pod would eject and all that kind of stuff, I'd want to try to push my luck to the last minute.
Okay.
And control it for as long as possible within my knowledge of like I know I need to get out of here at this exact moment.
Using your
Just still
old
delay.
sheet, Dr. Babbitt, go ahead and make a heavy machinery roll. I'm gonna say add 2 dice to it
Okie dokie.
because you're perfected. Okay, so that is enough successes for you to kind of go into the engineering station and shut off the drive, so that the engineering station is now, you turned off the sublight drive. It is no longer going. Okay. At this point, Leon, there is only one thing that you can do, and that would be to FTL drive it straight forward at Erebos and into the black hole and however else beyond. For you to do so, I need you to make a pilot roll, and it is going to be difficult, so I'm going to give you a -2 to the roll, but you're effectively trying to hit the FTL drive, push it, get into the escape pod before that, and fire it out. And it could be the case that you botch it entirely and only just do the first thing, or it could be the case that you FTL and get slingshotted by the black hole. There's a lot that can fuck up here, so I'm going to go ahead and say roll that pilot roll, and let's see what happens.
So, just for thematics, intention-wise, in Leon's head, at this point, he'd be thinking that he's willing to die to achieve this, but is going to try to escape.
Yep.
Kind of that thing. It's like if I know it's not going to happen, I'll let it happen, basically, and die.
Let's see it.
You said -2.
-2.
So do I just do an actual -2 on this macro option?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I can push this though, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say I got no panics or anything, but
Okay. Roll a panic roll.
I'm at 5 now, I think, stress. 'cause
Yeah,
got
I don't know
minus
why
8.
it gave you an additional. Yeah, I think it.
He pushed. He gains the stress when you push.
Yeah.
9 is you drop an item, but your action still goes through. So, yeah, you drop the cat.
I was in the escape pod. I
Oh,
thought.
wait, you're not holding
No,
the cat.
You know what? Super thematic. Actually, I dropped my signature combat knife, handed down through generations of my family, in the last moment, and it was just very sentimental to me.
Okay,
How
okay.
about that?
So that's a success. The ship hits FTL drive. It shoots straight towards Erebos Station. It hits, it detonates, and then the wake of Erebos and it kind of fly towards the black hole. Brent, you are vaporized in a second. However, in your last moments, your entire conscience and everything about the people that you're with seems to be extracted from you. You feel it going to something that's on Erebos. And then you feel unified in the hive mind as you enter into Uncle Al is the name that appears in your head. Seemingly a full Fremen that exists on Erebos Station. I'm going to have you roll 10d6, and this will determine if Erebos Station survives the catastrophe in any meaningful way or not. It will survive. FTL drive hits, breaks off the black cauldron too fast for it to explode with the because you were doing sublight and that was your goal. And then the ship and the parts of Erebos that were hit fly into the black hole. And your escape pod launches off into the distance with you and the cat inside. A few hours pass. A ship hails you. Identify yourself.
It's Captain Leon Hart
You're,
from the Setarina.
you're the only survivor.
Yes.
Probably too much to ask if you were able to bring anything of use along with you.
No, I don't have anything except for a
cat.
cat.
Yeah, looks up at him disgusted.
The last scene of this segment is the ship looming over top of you. The markers for the, I believe, the UPP on it as it secures the escape pod in its hold. And that's where we'll end Heart of Darkness. I know it's a bit early on the end, but that is where we will end this segment of it. And thanks for watching those that did. I know we didn't run the full 3 hours. They definitely did a hell of a job. I had thought that it would probably end sooner, but I'm glad that they did what they did. And yeah, that's it for this segment of Alien. We will either be picking up with this in the future and continuing off from there, or we might change it up. We'll see. We'll be talking about it off screen. But thank you for joining us for this run, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.